The mages are ready to approach the breach. I pray this will be enough to close it.
You weren't happy with how I brought in the mages. Do you have a problem with me as well?
Of course not. I have no intention of endangering your alliance, but I must ensure the safety of those here. That concern extends to the mages. They are putting themselves at risk for the Inquisition, as are you. Any precautions taken are meant to aid you, nothing more. I hope you will accept them as
Send
such.
men to scout the area. We need to know what's out there.
Yes, sir!
Commander, soldiers have been assigned temporary quarters.
Very good. I'll need an update on the armory as well. Now!
We set up as best we could at Haven, but could never prepare for an archdemon, or whatever it was. With some warning, we might have...
Do you ever sleep?
If Corypheus strikes again, we may not be able to withdraw. And I wouldn't want to. We must be ready. Work on Skyhold is underway. Guard rotations established. We should have everything on course within the week. We will not run from here, Inquisitor.
How many were lost?
Most of our people made it to Skyhold. It could have been worse. Morale was low, but it's improved greatly since you accepted the role of Inquisitor.
Inquisitor Llewellyn. It sounds odd, don't you think?
Not at all.
Is that the official response?
I suppose it is. But it's the truth. We needed a leader. You have proven yourself.
You responded quickly to the attack on Haven. Without that, so many more would have died. I'm grateful for any help you can give.
Thank you, Inquisitor. I will do everything I can to ensure the security of our people. You have my word. Gloat all you like. I have this one.
Are you sassing me, Commander? I didn't know you had it in you.
Why do I even... Inquisitor.
Leaving, are you? Does this mean I win?
Are you two playing nice?
I'm always nice. You need to come to terms with my inevitable victory. You'll feel much better.
Really? Because I just won. And I feel fine.
Don't get smug. There will be no living with you.
I should return to my duties as well. Unless you would care for a game.
Prepare the board, Commander.
As a child, I played this with my sister. She would get this stuck-up grin whenever she won, which was all the time. My brother and I practiced together for weeks. Oh, the look on her face the day I finally won. Between serving the Templars and the Inquisition, I haven't seen them in years. I wonder if she still plays.
You have siblings.
2 sisters and a brother.
Where are they now?
They moved to South Reach after the Blight. I do not write to them as often as I should. Ah, it's my turn.
All right, let's see what you've got.
This may be the longest we've gone without discussing the Inquisition, or related matters. To be honest, I appreciate the distraction.
You can't be serious all the time. Well, maybe you can.
I believe this one is yours. Well played.
Inquisitor, I've found where the Red Templars come from. Therenfall Redoubt. The Knights were fed red lyrium until they turned into monsters. Samson took over after their corruption was complete.
How do you know Samson?
He was a Templar in Kirkwall, until he was expelled from the Order. I knew he was an addict, but this... Red lyrium is nothing like the lyrium given by the Chantry. Its power comes with a terrible madness.
Samson's armor was glowing with the stuff. He'll go mad soon enough.
He seemed clear-eyed at Haven. Even so, the deluded commander is no less worrisome. The Red Templars still require lyrium,
If we find their source, we can weaken them and their leader.
I like finding the Red Templars' vulnerabilities before fighting them head-on.
We'll need every advantage against what courses through their veins. Caravans of red lyrium are being smuggled along trade roads. Investigating them could lead to where it's being mined. If you confront them, be wary. Anything connected to Samson will be well guarded.
You and the Red Templars' leader seem to have personal history.
When I arrived in Kirkwall, Samson and I shared quarters. He seemed a decent man at first. Knight Commander Meredith later expelled Samson for erratic behavior. He ended up begging on Kirkwall streets. He committed further crimes, but managed to evade the Order's justice. Now Samson serves Corypheus as his loyal general.
Why do you think Samson joined Corypheus?
He had a chronic lyrium addiction. He spent every last coin buying it from local smugglers. Perhaps Corypheus flattered his vanity, gave him purpose as well as lyrium. Perhaps that's all it took.
You can't deny being a general is an improvement to living on the streets.
I'd rather die than kneel to Corypheus. Clearly Samson felt otherwise. I don't understand how he became so powerful. Even with Red Lyrium, Samson's glory days are long behind Templars. Now the Grey Wardens. Both devoted their lives to fighting evil. Now they serve it.
If I was possessed by a demon, would you...
I would rather not consider it.
Is there anything I should know?
Many of our recruits viewed the Grey Wardens as heroes. Blackwall's presence is helpful. Knowing there's one warden immune to corruption has given people hope. Corypheus's grasp is not inescapable. Perfectly happy never again setting foot in the Winter Palace. It wasn't the gossip and backstabbing, I know what the game entails, but the indifference to it all.
Showing interest reveals weakness. Something nobles are quick to exploit.
No doubt you're right. The Chantry can be the same. Their politics are less extravagant, but just as heated. Gaspard rules a country. The divine influences half a continent.
May I ask you something?
Of course.
If you don't mind my asking, the hero Ferelden was a circle mage. Did you know him?
I attended his harrowing, actually. He was a talented mage. Considering he brought an end to the Blight, that goes without saying.
Do you think Templars should cease to exist?
No. I may have chosen to leave that life, but I respect those who remain. Magic ungoverned could tear the world apart. It's doing so now. Templars are trained and able to confront such dangers.
What would you suggest?
Some call the Circle a prison that can only breed resentment. Perhaps opportunities to work outside the Circle. A mixed military service or healers' clinics with Templar support. And there must be a safer way for Templars to leave. Templars can lose their memories to lyrium. Some call it a gift, to forget the failed harrowings, the demons. Some atrocities haunt me still. But to lose what good I can recall, I nearly lost my mind once. It is no gift.
Mages can take care of themselves. We don't need Templars.
Tell that to the parents of a child who falls prey to possession. Mages cannot handle such threats alone.
The Inquisition won't last forever. What will you do when this is over?
To be honest, I hadn't given it much thought until recently. I'm not used to having so many possibilities.
You still regret the man you became after leaving Ferelden?
After the Ferelden Circle, I thought all mages were like the ones there. Knight Commander Meredith's methods were harsh, but they kept people safe.
You said Meredith was unstable.
She was my Knight Commander. I had no reason to distrust her. She wasn't wrong about the Blood Mages in Kirkwall. Meredith encouraged my anger towards the mages. There was only so far I would go, and she knew that too. I was her second in command. She kept decisions from me, those I would question. I believed she was serving the city. I never thought to question her, not until it was too late.
You can't control everything. You stood up to her in the end.
If I hadn't, would I be like her now? I wanted mages locked away as much as she did. I trusted they were treated reasonably well, but I should have done more. I should have looked into it. It's not yet enough. The Inquisition is my chance to atone. I will see it through.
You've mentioned siblings. With everything that's happening, do you know if they're all right?
I've received word from my eldest sister. She was always good at tracking me down. South Reach has experienced the same chaos as everywhere else. My family is fine. Pray they remain so.
Your sister tracked you down. She didn't know where you were.
I let her know I was in Haven. She assumed I survived. It's not the first time. I may have neglected to tell her when I was transferred to Kirkwall.
Why?
I wasn't in a good state. I wanted only to leave. I received an angry letter about my disappearance 2 years later. For all her reprimands, it was a relief to hear from someone who knew me before the Blight.
That's all I wanted to know.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend. Yes?
Is there anything I should know?
My senior officers report that the soldiers are in good spirits. Having the Imperial Army as an ally has bolstered their confidence. The Orlesian military is highly regarded. Of course, I'd wager our own recruits are equal to any Chevalier.
Is there anything I should know?
There are fewer arguments between our Templar and Mage recruits than when we started. I've seen them trading stories, building one another up for the fight to come. I pray this won't be lost when their common enemy is gone.
That's all for now.
Should you require
Is there anything I should
I'll-
know?
Your plan is sound. We are ready to move on the Arbor Wilds when you give the word. I will see you reach the temple before Corypheus. I'm never playing cards again. I still can't find my... It doesn't matter. I don't know how Varric talked me into. I do not like having that mirror, Illuvian, in Skyhold. Corypheus may not be able to travel through it. But what if something else can?
Morrigan's our expert on the Illuvian. If you're worried, why don't you ask her?
I did.
And?
She said I was unreasonable, then offered to explain how the Illuvian works using words with less than 4 syllables.
Ah,
The Circle had a library. I'm fairly well read.
right.
I'm not unreasonable. Samson took everything from those Templars. He corrupted their souls, twisted them into everything they stood against. Everything they would have hated.
You're letting Samson get to you.
And what if I am? The Red Lyrium left Samson's mind unaltered. He knew what he was doing. And he dares speak as though it were a mercy? The man's a monster. I pray his information is useful. His life is good for little else.
You knew Samson. You don't feel even a little sympathy for him?
I may have once, but after what he's done, my sympathies lie with those he betrayed. They will extend no further. The Red Templars needed to be torn down. We've broken Corypheus's army. I might have known some of them. If my life had gone differently, I might have been one of them. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you had not been at the Conclave? If you'd never become the Inquisitor?
I'd still be here. Well, maybe not here, but I'd be down in the barracks with the other volunteers. I couldn't just sit idle.
No, I don't imagine you could. Though all before me is shadow, yet shall the Maker be my guide. I shall not be left to wander the drifting roads of the beyond. For there is no darkness in the Maker's light, and nothing that he has wrought shall be lost.
A prayer for you?
For those we have lost, and those I am afraid to lose.
How can you still have faith?
I've questioned it at times, but I found comfort in faith when life offered little. Corypheus will retaliate. It's only a matter of time. We must draw strength wherever we can.
Unless he gets bored and surrenders. Any chance of that?
I doubt it. Am I imagining it? Or do we have a moment to breathe?
Definitely your imagination. The party, the cake, it's all an elaborate dream.
Maker knows I could use the sleep. You should hear the stories they're telling in the barracks. The pride in their voices. Some of the soldiers have requested leave to return home, but many would follow us still. You are proof that the Inquisition has made a difference, and that we will continue to do so.
That's why we're having this fancy party. Celebrate, Commander. You've earned it.
I should be thanking you. You gave me a chance to prove myself. In your place, I'm not sure I would have done the same. I should let you mingle. I'm sure everyone desires your attention. Enjoy the party. Liliana is to be divine. It will be strange to see her go. Given her plans for the Chantry, the months to come will be interesting.